Hey, and welcome back to Age 40 Years. My name's Greg, and this is my third video that I've released, other than an intro video. So, if you're back for the third one, first off, thank you for coming back. Um, in this uh, format, I guess the best thing to ask for is a like and subscribe. But, if more than anything, I just hope that you give me some interaction, tell me what you're thinking. I've done two videos now, local South Carolina um, bourbon from Hollow Creek, and a review of the new Penelope Weeded. There's a bug flying in my eye. So today I'm going to get into one of my favorite distilleries. I really like Four Roses. I had the opportunity to visit there. I did their single barrel strength tour or flight tasting, which was awesome. And from that, you get the opportunity to buy one of these bottles. So I did that. I bought one of the bottles from the distillery, and that really hooked me on the Four Roses product. So, right now there's a lot of these Four Roses single barrels at a lighter proof coming out, hitting the market, which is great. I think that's a awesome move by Four Roses. I really think they need to release a rye product. I think they could do a great job with a rye, but honestly, one of my favorite breweries. I also like beer, but it's one of my favorite breweries. It's one of my favorite distilleries. One of my favorite distilleries. Okay, you got it. Um, but today I'm gonna go ahead and review or taste a single barrel strength Four Roses product. So now, if you're not familiar, they have 10 different recipes originally that they've come out with. They all have a letter designation of 4 letters. So it's this particular one is OESQ. It's OESQ. OESQ is going to be a lighter. It's their lighter rye mash bill and their floral yeast. So let me explain a little bit about how this works, because I think some people don't fully understand the 4 different letters. O is the first letter. Every single one of them, all 10 of them, are going to start with an O. What the O represents, and I can show you here. What the O represents is that this was distilled at the Lawrenceburg facility in Kentucky. But what it really is a throwback to Seagram's, when they had several distilleries, and the one in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky is the Old Prentice Distillery. So the O, same thing on every bottle. It's a throwback to Seagram's. The E represents the mash bill. So this one, if it's an E, it has a 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% malted barley mash bill. It's the lower rye mash bill. If you get a B, so E or B, it's going to be a 60% corn, and that extra 15% that you're taking off of the E, so you're going from 75 to 60, is actually going into rye. So it's a little bit higher rye mash bill. And again, 5% malted barley. The S just says that it's a straight whiskey. So same on every one. So again, no variation there. And then the last one is the yeast strain. So you got this particular one is a Q, which is a more floral yeast strain. So when you got 4 letters, only 2 of them are able to be swapped out, the E and the B for the mash bill. And then you get the last one, which there's a variety of them. I don't have them all handy to be able to tell you what they're, you know what? I take that back. Yes, I do. There's a V, a Q, a K, an O, and an F. So those are the 5 yeast strains that you can get, and they're going to add, different varying flavors. I have 3 of these today. I'm not trying all 3 because they're pretty high in proof, but I have 3 of these in my house. The thing I like about these is they all have a little bit different age statement, a little bit of proof point, but they're just consistently good. This one is the South Carolina selection. That's where I'm located, is South Carolina. I'm actually going to turn this sideways so you can see the unique South Carolina label. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. This one's aged 11 years and 1 month. For me, that's one of the higher age statements I've seen on these. 61% ABV. Comes from Warehouse JE. And for those that are really into it, this is probably for the laser code checkers, but barrel number is 66-4N. So if that means anything to you, congratulations. Or not, maybe that means it's an awful one. But obviously I've had a good bit of this. But let's talk about it. Let's try it and see what we think. And you can tell my expert setup with the cars driving behind me. So let's nose it. This one, I poured this one about 20 minutes ago. And man, I think this says let's see, the OESQ. Yeah, I mean, what they say for the recipe is floral, rose petal, and acacia. I almost said acai. Banana, refreshing and medium body, and definitely floral. I mean, that could not be more true. You get a lot of floral notes. Some nice rose petal, some raspberry in there, I think. A little bit of fruity, a little bit of cherry. And something I seem to get with a lot of Four Roses is like a tea leaf, like just kind of like almost like a iced tea, or like we used to make cold brew tea here, cold brew iced tea, and I get a lot of that. It reminds me of, it's a great summer smell. And if you ever go to the Four Roses Distillery, where the tastings are and the gift shop are, they have a huge wraparound front porch. It's awesome. Great place to sit and have a drink if the weather's nice. But yeah, I would say that that just reminds me of summer on the nose. And I agree. I agree with them implying that it is a pretty medium. You know, for the proof point of 122, that's pretty medium on the nose. So cheers. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Okay, so on the palate, oh wow, really a lot of cherry. That is sweet. That is delicious, man. I swear these bottles just age well on the shelf. Every time I come back to them, I'm impressed. But I want to say like a medicinal cherry, but not in a bad way. Like really just kind of that dark cherry, very viscous. I mean, that just coats the mouth, and it is medium. I mean, like I said, for the price point, I don't know. Gosh, I mean, sorry for the proof point. That's tough to beat. That is delicious. But like I said, I mean, it's dominant on cherry. A little bit of oak flavor in there, but I mean, I tell you what, that is. You get the 11 years in 1 month. You get that little bit of oak plus the sweetness of the cherry. Now, as it starts to develop, you get definitely more cherry. I think the floral starts to come out a little bit on the back end. That's really good. On the finish, I'd say it's a medium finish. It doesn't stick around real long. You get a little bit of hug, but overall finish is really nice. Again, I think it settles into a real nice sweetness, almost. It's kind of dry on the finish, but also I'd say sweet. So some good cherry again, but sweet but dry, and medium. So it's a medium, nice finish. So if I were to sum this up, I mean, this is going to be an instant buy. All these recipes are an instant buy for me. I know that there are some, like the OESV, I believe, is consistently one of the most sought after recipes. And I get that. That one's a good one. I have it on my shelf. I'd have just a little bit left. But I tell you, if you like what Four Roses is putting out, certainly if you try some of the 100 proof ones that are just coming out, but experiment with these too. Add a little water to them once in a while. I think that might change things. But also keep in mind that just because you find an OESQ doesn't mean it's going to be just like every OESQ you've had. So let it age on the shelf too. That'd be my advice. I really think it does well sitting on the shelf. I think it develops well. I was fortunate enough last year to find an LE, and I opened that one the other day, and oh my goodness, is that good. It's like, I mean, I don't usually recommend spending that much money on bourbon. It's pretty rare. I mean, Russell's 15. I can get down with. I've never come across a George T. Stagg myself. Well, I got the Russells back there, but there's very few bourbons where I would say, hey, yeah, go spend that kind of money on it. But the LE is just incredible, and it's developing. You know, it's growing and getting better on the shelf. So is this. So buy with confidence. I think that you're going to see varying price points on these. I believe I got this one for $69.99. I'd need to confirm, but it's been a little while, as you can tell, based on how much is in here. But I think that's about what I paid. Definitely would pick it up again for that price, and I'd definitely get more recipes. So, hey, if your state's doing drops on these, if you're finding them around, let me know. Let me know what you think. Maybe there's a recipe that you like better, or one that you think is particularly good. I'd love to hear it. But with that, that's my tasting of Four Roses single barrel barrel strength private selection. The recipe, again, is specially selected by Four Roses for South Carolina, and it is recipe OESQ. OESQ. Thanks. I hope everyone drinks responsibly. And with that, cheers.